Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, depending on where you're joining us from. Today on this Question Pro webinar series, we have what's new in the Question Pro Research Suite. So I am Dan Fleetwood. I lead the Research and Insights platform, really the Research Suite here at Question Pro. I'm sure you've seen me around on LinkedIn, or if you've been around at Question Pro for any length of time. I've been here for about 8 years. So definitely have been here for a while. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn as well. I love meeting new people and connecting with them. And I'll be taking you through some of the different features and functionality that we've released so far this year, and then also what we have coming up later on in the year. So the agenda for today is to discover QuestionPro's Research Suite releases for the first half, like I mentioned, and then I want to kind of go over what's coming up and give you more of a deeper dive into current things that we're working on, and that'll be released later this year. And I hope to have an open Q&A session. So if you have questions, feel free to drop those in the comments of whatever platform you're viewing this on, and they all route to the same place. So I'm sure that we will get them. Now, today I don't have time to go deep into each feature. So if you want more information, please feel free to contact your account manager, your customer success manager, or if you're new to Question Pro, reach out and on our website, and you can sign up for a free trial and also connect with a sales representative that'd be happy to help you out and show you some of these different features. Likewise, reach out to me, shoot me a message on LinkedIn or shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to connect with you. So over the next 45 minutes to an hour, that's what we're going to be discussing today. All right. So I want to give you an overview of the Research Suite footprint just so we can frame the conversation here. So the Research Suite footprint gives you really access to both quantitative and qualitative solutions to help meet your research needs. So first off, we have the Research Edition survey software. This is a powerful survey platform that includes custom point-click logic, advanced analytics, everything you need to get the job done. We also have our communities platform. This is a way that you can maintain hyper-engaged members in order to get the results that you need, both from a qualitative and quantitative perspective. We also have research services, which is our service department that can help you out with all of your research needs, from programming a survey to idea to conception, all the way to reporting. Every step of the way, we can help you out there. And then our audience platform as well, which is really our online sample. And we provide a lot of good data quality measures and also an affordable price for our audience. So feel free to connect with us there. And then Insights Hub, which is one of our newest products, which is a data repository where you can search, discover, and access all of your data in one organized repository. And as I'll show you coming up, they have a lot of exciting things that they're working on in regards to reporting as well. And then our newest addition to the Research Suite footprint is DigSite. So we announced earlier this week that we acquired, or last week, that we acquired DigSite, which is a qualitative tool that empowers insights teams to collectively learn and engage with carefully selected consumers as they build new products and services and communication. So we're really excited about this as it rounds out all of our we have a lot of quantitative features, and this really helps round out more of our qualitative features as well. So definitely more coming on the DigSite acquisition, but if you're interested in that, again, feel free to reach out to us and we'll definitely provide you with more information. Okay, let's get into it. So I won't spend too much time on this slide, but the research product roadmap, largely in Q1 and Q2 this year, focused on grouping and crosstab, extraction, text highlighter, on the research side. So we'll dive into more of these and what that means. On audience, we really wanted to make our self-service audience platform more well-rounded. So this is what we spent a lot of time on, and making this more of a usable feature that our clients can take advantage of. And communities, this is a big product line for us, and we like this product line from a standpoint that it really helps differentiate our product offering and also helps out our customers as well. So we've worked on different things like webhooks, roles and permissions, member profile logs, different expiration times for verification links to help out with security. So we've done a lot there. In development now, we're working on some of these. Some have been released as we're a little bit into Q3 already, and working on things like some different analytics on crosstabs, reporting and heat maps, edit survey collaboration. This is something that we're really hyper focused on. Anonymity mode in communities, so the ability to make your community members anonymous. We see this as a growing need, especially with all the data privacy efforts out there. A moderator to member chat in communities. This is something that we really need to get into the communities platform that we're focused on. And then instant answers, which is our newest audience product that we released, which we'll also cover here. So that gives you an overview of a little bit of the things that we're working on. And as we go through each of the different product lines, I'll definitely be talking about a little bit more in depth of what got released and what's coming up as well. All right. So today, these are the products I'm going to be focusing on: the Research Edition, Communities, Insights Hub, and Audience. So let's jump into the Research Edition product showcase first. All right. So really, the Research Edition, obviously, as I mentioned, it is a well-rounded, survey and insights platform. But we really wanted to focus in on a couple of key functionalities that we see as not only I wouldn't say like the future, but a lot of these things are really important for research and where you need to go and current industry trends. And some of it just makes our platform even more user-friendly. So data quality. If you've been at any one of the conferences so far this year, or read Quirks or Green Book, any of these publications, or even talked to people, the data quality is huge. It's a big topic in our industry now. And it's something that we are focused on as well, because we want to make sure that you have good data. If you don't have good data, then what's the point of doing all this research? You need to trust that. So this is what we're focused on, and then providing some more data quality tools for you. Extraction logic, this is something that is key, and we really went really nuanced into some of the different features and functionality that we got there. Randomization, more on block randomization here, different functionalities and features that we'll get into. Organ collaboration, I see this as more of different functionality that we got in really to help teams out with collaborating on surveys and working at the same time. Think Google Docs, but for surveys. Edit survey collaboration, survey preview 2.0. So this is an update to our survey preview where it makes it easier to test out surveys. You can forego the logic. You can jump to, if you're using custom variables, you can jump to those specific paths. Some other features and functionality that we'll get into there as well. Question types like text highlighter, this got released. Merge data 2.0, this is something that I'll cover as well. But this, if you have two data sets and you need to merge them together, this feature helps out with those. So really focused on making things more efficient, but also providing that quality that you need to be able to trust in the research results. So data quality, let's get a little more specific here in terms of what we mean when we say data quality and some of those different features and functionality that we released. So the data quality, updating gibberish open-end library. So we updated the library here to provide even more robust capabilities. The ability to export data quality flag data, export data that's quality flagged, and then also adding them to different filters so you can search by the different data quality tools that we have and different flags. Ability to terminate on data quality, so have the ability to terminate across multiple data quality. So if you have one-word answers turned on and you have, let's say, pattern responses, if both of these conditions are met and the respondent fails on both of these, then they'll be terminated. So more advanced termination logic for data quality that allows you to make sure that you're getting the right people taking part in your surveys. Quality terminate landing page. So now we have a terminate page that allows for the data quality checks, which helps out not only with figuring out incidents, but also helps out with connections with some of our panel partners as well. And then we fixed the speed check, so it made this more efficient and more accurate. And then some different things we have in progress, like I mentioned, the terminate on multiple flags, and that's coming up in the September build right now, where you can terminate on single responses. But this was on my mind because I was talking about today with the team. So this is something that's coming up on the heels in September. And then to go a little bit more in depth into this, these are things that you can search by. So maybe this data quality in our platform is new to you. This is something that you can utilize if you have the Research Edition survey license. So Things like duplicate IP address, gibberish words, duplicate text responses, one-word answers, all checkboxes selected, pattern responses, speed traps, and quality terminates as well. And we'll be adding to this these tools as well. But this is all things that are currently available, and you can flag responses, you can choose to terminate. And as I mentioned, we'll be coming out with the ability to terminate if a number of these are met. So let's say you have 5 of these on, if 3 are met, then you can terminate. So that's something that is coming up quickly as well, as I mentioned in September. So we see data quality as something that's super important. We're only going to continue to invest in it because it's something that is much needed in the industry today. Extraction. So if you use our extraction logic, you know that it's currently fairly robust. We've made it even more robust and added in some of those features and functionalities that clients said, hey, we need this, and we listened and we got these things added in. So things like locked extraction with an NA option, extraction using an image chooser. So now if you're using an image chooser question type, you can extract those images into a follow-up question automatically. So that's something that is available there. Always extract and never extract, so adding in a different option there. If you have long answer options and you want to just say, hey, just never extract these or always extract these, we can do that here as well, especially if you're doing any sort of product research. Allow multiple extraction types from the same source question. So this is something that allows for greater capability when you're programming your surveys and really ease of use. Modifying extraction logic mapping and editing. So this is something that you can do after the extraction is put into place. You can map and edit those different things. Locked extraction with matrix questions. So obviously matrix questions are key in any survey, and now you can do locked extraction with those as well. Something that's in progress that's coming up in the next release is the piping other option for support. So if you're using an other option and they put in whatever answer, that'll get piped to the extracted question. So that's coming up in the September build. So really went deep in extraction to help round out this feature set. Randomization. So obviously, randomization is key to helping reduce survey bias. And we have robust randomization, but one thing we wanted to do was improve the randomization that we have in blocks. And we have block randomization with looping. So now you can do looping with randomization. This is in the August build, so this is coming up. It should be out by the end of August. And this is where you can loop when you have randomization. You can when you're doing looping with randomization, excuse me, this is something that you can do now. So you don't have to ask like the same loops in the order each time. You can loop it, obviously, to help reduce bias in the survey. And this is something that you can do. Coming up early in Q4, what we're working on is block randomization with show hide logic. So this is something that some functionality that we have coming up. So thinking a lot about the randomization, some programming, both show hide logic and looping randomization in your surveys. So these are things that we're definitely thinking about of how to make researchers and survey programmers' lives easier when they're using our platform. All right, the organ collaboration, these are some of the features that I'm arguably most excited about because I think they'll help both the collaborative nature of all insights teams at this point, but also really helps round out the QuestionPro offering. So the first one, before I get to the in progress stuff, is what we made live is we noticed an issue with adding and deleting answer options with translation. So this is something that we fixed. And what we're working on now is the multi-use survey collaboration. So think Google Docs, but in your survey. So you can have multiple people going in the survey. So if you're collaborating on a survey with a team member, both of you can be in the survey, editing, adding questions. And this is coming out in a phased approach. The first, 1.0, if you will be coming out in the September build, and then we're going to iterate on this coming up. But this is great for insights teams and collaboration. This might be one of the most requested features or functionalities that we needed to get into the platform. So I'm excited to say that this is coming out. And the preview 2.0, right on the heels of multi-use survey collaboration, survey 2.0 is survey preview 2.0 rather, is something where when you have your survey and you're previewing it, right now, all of the logic, the the validation, all of that, all of those things that you have in your survey, as you probably know, are included in that preview. Now, when you preview the survey, you can choose to toggle those on or off, and that way you can easily get through the survey. You can jump to specific blocks. I'll get more into this, so I don't want to talk about it too much here, but that is just kind of um, an overview, a quick overview of the survey preview 2.0, but I'll talk about it again here on an upcoming slide. And then the reordering of answer options or rows, should not affect collected data. So this is something that we're working on the September build. More information will be coming out on this one as well, but just allows for greater flexibility when data has already been collected and you maybe need to reorder some of those answer options. So again, just trying to make things more efficient and improve the functionality for our users. Let's dive into a little bit of this. I've kind of previewed this, no pun intended, on the previous slide. But you can see towards the top here that you can jump to a specific block. So if you're using blocks in the survey and you just want to test out, let's say block 2 or block 3, that's something that you can do. If you're using custom variables, you can jump to a specific custom variable. Maybe if you're using show hide logic based on that, you can input what that custom variable is, and then it will take you down that path accordingly. Page breaks, you can choose to turn those on or off. Logic, this is great because now you can just breeze through the survey without the different logic paths. So if you just want to check to see how it looks, and you want to check that out and not have to go remember each different logic path to check every question, you can simply turn that off. And the same thing with validations. Obviously, you want validations in your survey, but when you're previewing or checking it, doing a final check, you don't necessarily need those validations to do that. So that's something that you can turn off as well. So that's the survey preview 2.0, again, coming out in October. And then edit survey collaboration. Teams can work in parallel to edit, review, finalize the survey in the workspace. So you can see here, this one, Max is in this particular question, so it'll let you know that, hey, Max is working on this one. Obviously, when he goes out of it, then you can go back in. You'll be able to see other team members. You see right here by this URL, and you can see the other team members that are in your survey, or in the same survey as you, rather. And that way, you know who's in there and you know who's working on the specific questions, and it locks it down. So helps reduce error, also helps with collaboration. You know who's in there. You're not having to Slack each other, message each other on Teams. All of this will be inside of QuestionPro. So this is a highly requested feature that, again, the first iteration will be out in September, and then we'll be continuing to release updated versions of it as we move along. Merge data 2.0. So I mentioned this one on a few slides, a few of the previous slides, but really you can combine survey from multiple surveys into one data set. So this is great because it allows for, just point and click, hey, I want to include these questions, and then it merges it into one completely new data set. So this helps out with obviously ease of use and reporting, and it's something that we're excited that we have in the platform now. And then some different improvements in H1 that I mentioned. Just wanted to reiterate here: grouping and crosstab. We have locked extraction, and then I saw there was a question that came in on LinkedIn around text highlighter. So I guess I'll just answer it now since I saw it. Will text highlighter include frequency analysis? I believe it will, but I will get back to you on that to double check. But I'll make a point to get back to you. But I believe we will include this. If it's not something that we have initially, you can bet that we'll get it in the platform as an enhancement. So I'll definitely get back to you. Appreciate the question. And if anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in their platform that you're using. And as you can see, we'll answer it live here during this webinar. Appreciate that question. All right, answer grouping and crosstabs, something I want to dive into a little bit more because, again, this was a highly requested feature that we listened to clients and we got it in. So grouping answer options into categories for easier, robust analysis. So A simple thing, let's say you have, like in this example, you have different fruits and you have different vegetables. Let's say you wanted to group the fruits, group the vegetables, and then do analysis based on those. You can do that via point and click interface here. So you would just click on this grouping button. It brings up another box, and you can just put in your different labels and what answer options you want into those, and then it groups them together so you can do that easy analysis with the grouping and crosstabs. This was a highly requested feature, and I know I mentioned crosstabs a few times. It's something that we're going to continue to iterate on and improve. So it's something that we're not done with crosstabs yet. You can bet that. Text highlighter. So for those that don't know, this is a question type where you can have some text on the screen. People can highlight it and they can mark it as red or green, and the respondent can select those words, and you can evaluate. And then they can select from like the likes or dislike. Obviously, green is like, red is dislike, and then be able to you'll see that in the reporting of different areas, almost like a heat map style, where you can see, hey, these are things that customers like, these are things that respondents like, rather, these are things that they didn't like. So it gives you ways that you can improve upon that on that text. So this is a question type. Feel free to make use of it today. All right, so coming up, we're going to be focusing on, and this is more things that we're going to be working on in Q3 and Q4, and probably even into somewhat into Q1, is SPSS. This is something that we want to improve on, and like save settings for a project, hard sorting support, responsive 1 if elected, 0 if not selected. If a question was skipped or not shown, some way to identify that. So improving our support for SPSS. This is something that we want to do. And then analysis and reporting. It's something that we're going to be focusing on even more coming up in the next couple months, and I would say even going into next year, with adding things like categorical text analysis. Right now we have sentiment, which is great in some cases, but oftentimes you need to have more of a categorical analysis in your open ends. So this is something that we want to help support. And then crosstabs, mentioned this, confidence intervals at different levels. This is something that we want to do, adding support for custom variables, and then top bottom box. And so just making crosstabs more robust in its feature set. And then matrix questions, in addition to the spider chart, having more of a heat map table view. This is something that's been requested from a number of our clients. So it's something that we want to get into the platform. So just an overview, different things that we're thinking about in terms of SPSS and some analysis there. All right, let's jump to communities. And again, I'll reiterate, if you want to know more about any of these features, or you want to demo it real time, feel free to reach out to your account manager or a sales rep. Fill out the form on our website. We'll reach out to you. Happy to show you any of these features. And again, reach out to me as well. I'm always happy to, if I can't help you, or I can always route you to someone at QuestionPro that can help you out instantly. All right, so let's jump into the communities product showcase, and we will take it from there. So communities, we were busy in H1 getting a bunch of new features in, from different webhooks, endpoints for deletion and verification. So improving our webhook, and also kind of concurrently updating our APIs as well. It's not listed here, but I know that's something that we've been working on and will continue to work on going into H2. And alias for survey names displayed in the portal. So adding in the ability to, let's say your survey name is, specific product name, and you need that so you can identify it, but you want to mask that. You don't want essentially the members in your community to know that, oh, this is, for X product, maybe that's confidential information. You can mask the survey name that's displayed in the portal. So this is something that we've added support for. Roles and permissions, again, going back to the more collaborative nature that we want QuestionPro to be, we've added in roles and permissions for your insights team. So not everybody needs access to everything. Now you can go in and say, hey, okay, you can have access to this and this, but you can't have access to this. This is something that you can do for your team members. Member profile logs. So as profile logs get updated, or profiles get updated, we keep a log of that. So you can now refer back to it to see what's changed. I know this is requested for a lot of healthcare and medical research as well to stay compliant, something that you can use if you have a community. And expiration time for verification links, so adding in specific times, really for security reasons here. Moderator view on video discussions. This is something that was, after we released video discussions, we're like, yes, we need this. We agree with everybody that reached out and said that we needed this feature. So we've created a moderator view. Think, more of on the client side if you're in a focus group, where you can log in and you can see the group, you can chat with a moderator. And this is something that is available today and has been loved by our clients because it does create that moderator view that they can use to see it, and then also chat with the moderator, say, hey, can you dive in a little bit more here? This is something that was requested and we got in. Smart reminders. This is, if you're sent out a survey, you can choose to only remind certain groups. Let's say there's different quotas that are full, or you need those mails to complete the survey. You can specifically target those mails for the reminder. And then also geotagging signups. So this is, you can either choose to include or exclude geotagging signups or different areas. I'll get more into this as well. And then password reset using phone number. So oftentimes people maybe won't remember the email address they logged in with, or they wanted to use their phone number to reset their password. So this is something that is available now. And then remove survey access. So let's say there's a member that you just don't want to have access to a particular survey. You can go in to their profile on the admin side and remove access for them instantly, but still have access for everybody else. All right, let's dive into a few more of these, and more specific, I should say, features. I want to just cover some of these and let you know in a little bit more detail on what we got released. Or what we released. So roles and permissions, create a customized role, create customized roles for team members by allowing access to only specific modules. So as I mentioned, you can come in, add a new role. So this is custom, you put in the role name here, and then you can select, you see the different areas or sections of the community. You can choose, hey, I want access to languages, media library, profile, or on the distribute or the incentive side, they only need access to certain features or functionality inside of communities. This is something that you can add in via the roles and permissions. Now, much like if you're familiar with how we do it on our survey platform, it's the same on our community platform as well. All right, so viewer mode and discussions. I mentioned this. This is what it looks like. This is a live screenshot of one of the sessions that was happening. You can see that on the viewer mode, you can see the discussion here. You can see the chat that's going on. You can see who is a moderator, who is a participant, and everybody in the group doesn't know that people are viewing them. So this is something that it truly is like the two-way mirror in the focus group discussions in that client back room. So this is something that you can utilize. You can invite members, you can invite the viewers via email. They get a link, so it takes care of that distribution for them as well. And something that's available when you're using our video discussion platform. Regional-based signups. So this is something that you can control who's coming into the community. So let's say your community is US only and you don't want anybody else outside of the United States signing in. You can choose to only include people from the United States based on their IP address. So these are things, again, with more security and ensuring that you have the right members in the community are paramount, and things that we're thinking about. So this is something that we released as well. All right, so what's coming up? What are we working on? So in Q3, you can see a few of these things will come out in the August release, which is the ability to update profile fields in the mobile application. So if you have the mobile app, you can now update, or members can update their profile fields in there. So continuing to improve upon the mobile app. I'll tell you that I think our mobile app is a good differentiator from other platforms out there. And we're only going to continue to invest more into that, including making it easier for people that are in the web portal to know about the mobile app and also to sign up for it. So you can see, one of the things in Q4 that we're working on is a QR code for the app in the portal, and a way to kind of push members towards the app as well. It only helps out with engagement response rates, so it's something that we want to try to incorporate more in the community offering. Zoom transcripts for video discussions. So this will be available in any language. So this will be available on the platform. Username support for video discussions. So if you're using our username functionality in communities, the username will show up instead of the email address, which is obviously important for a number of reasons. The admin portal, so member search revamp, something we're working on in September to kind of address some of the UI issues in the admin portal, group more of the settings in a manner that makes more sense, and then adding more options in sampling, so more operators, so you can get more robust in your sampling and filter creations. Okay, so for Q4, mention this. So I mentioned the QR code for app on the portal. New member referrals using social media, so improving our refer a friend module to allow for social media and some different options there. It's something that we want to not only increase the functionality, but I know some other things we're thinking about is improving the security around the refer a friend as well. So in conjunction with being able to post a link on social media, allowing, or I guess providing greater security on it as well. So community settings, categorization revamp. So this is some of those different settings we have in communities. Over the years, we've added in different things, and now we need to go back and categorize and revamp those settings just to make sure that they're all in areas that they should be and that makes sense for everything. Community, or skipped one there, anonymization of members in community for admin. So if you're an admin going into the community, oftentimes you'll get requirements from large companies that due to privacy concerns, they don't want to know the names or any of the information about their customers outside of their particular profile, so they can use to target, but they don't need to know like names, email addresses, things like that. So this is something that we're focused on in Q4, is the anonymization of members. And then community health dashboard revamp. So really the key thing here is that we have a lot of data sitting there, but we want to push that out and allow you to have access to a lot of the data. So we're revamping the community health dashboard to not only improve the UI, but also improve the functionality and some of the numbers that are going to be reported as well. New dashboards and metrics to charts and analytics. So updating that as part of everything is something that we're also working on. All right. There was a question that came in, but I think I'll address that later. I see it's from Ron. So I'll get to that in a little bit during the Q&A section. Take a look at those for you. All right. So audience self-service, instant answers. Let's jump into this and go over some of the things released in the audience self-service product, and then also talk about instant answers a little bit, which is our newest audience offering. So instant answers, this is essentially a Slack integration that we created where you can ask your question in Slack and get your results in minutes to the population that you sent it to. So you would come in here, type in a Slack command, /question. It comes in here and you can write the question, type in the answer options, choose how many you want to send it to, or how many completes you want to get rather. And then the location, do you want the US, do you want the UK? And then you can submit the question and then you get those results back. So this is an example of a chart that would be returned to you directly into your Slack channel that you created the question in. So, this is an example of how do you eat corn on the cob, round and round, cut it off the cob, and so forth. So these are, some different things that are different. Sorry, this is what you can do with instant answers. You can type it in and get the results back in minutes. And something like this doesn't take very long at all. So you can see some different applications here for those that you need, quick answers to. And we use it all the time, both internally, and clients are using it externally as well to get those quick answers that they need from a representative sample. Also, we'll be adding in multi-question support, multi-options, and then also some additional functionality as well that we'll be getting in. But this is something that's exciting. And if you want to make use of this, reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you set it up on your Slack instance and get you rolling on it. But this is something that's great. Reach out to us and reach out to Tim if you want to see more on this audience instant answers integration here. And then on the self-service side, we did a lot in terms of really enhancing the self-service audience tool. So if you're in the platform, in the upper left-hand corner, you can click the drop down that says audience. You can go in there and automatically select the sample that you want to send it to, send it out via API. We get those results back and send it out to the panel, get those results back, and you don't have to do anything. It's all self-service. So some of the things that we did to improve this was the ability to refund unused credits, which is important if you have those and you don't need to use it anymore, and you didn't want to use it on a future project. Folder sharing support, so being able to collaborate with additional team members so they can see the surveys that you sent out via our audience tool. And then also the ability to soft launch. So this is something that is important, obviously, to make sure that the data is coming in correctly, the audience is good, and there's no issues in the survey. This is something that we added as well. So just additional features to make this more usable and make the functionality a little more robust that we needed to improve upon. So this is something that's available now. Feel free to use it. You just need to add some credits in, get your survey programmed, say what survey you want to send it to, and then you're off to the races and you can get these results back in no time at all. Okay, so I want to talk a little about Insights Hub here. And Insights Hub is one of our newest products that we've been working on. And really the Insights Hub is around data repository and the ability to connect multiple data sources into one hub, hence the name. And this really allows for not only things like discovery, but also you'll find answers to in surveys that you asked in the past. You'll find answers to them just by searching and taking different answer options. So definitely it's a great functionality. If you're not overly familiar with it, reach out for a demo. Again, contact your account manager, contact the sales rep at QuestionPro. We can definitely give you a demo of Insights Hub. But we've deployed 10 plus major features in H1 alone. So things with our stories, effortless distribution for narratives. So stories is a way that you can put together things like start to create more of the reporting and create a story around the data and different nuggets of information. Now, knowledge graphs 2.0, so you can map trends together across multiple projects, which is key for discovery and insights. Notepads, so in notepads now you can they're dedicated and indexable project for note-taking tab, and then also workflow, so in-app project management module. These are all some of the bigger features that we released in H1. For H2, I know we're working on API integration with other research apps, so not just QuestionPro, obviously. Obviously, for insights teams, you need to be able to have data from different sources coming into this data repository or knowledge management system. And this is something that we're going to allow for as well. Advanced importing features, team-based user permissions, so continuing to improve upon the current functionality in Insights Hub. So just a quick overview, mentioned some of this before I started to get into some of the H1 and H2 features and functionality, but it empowers quick access to insights, added transparency, no information loss, quick turnaround on studies, reusable workflows, enhanced knowledge management for those teams. So it's kind of separate the tribal knowledge and get it into a system that everybody can access. Amplified reusable market research and analytics AI-driven platform. So allows and empowers insights teams to do all of these different things. And really focused on stories, as I mentioned, this is a way that you can start to do come out with a narrative and cross-project findings. So it's a content editor built into this Insights Hub specifically, excuse me, for insights teams. So you can see in the example here, you can add in the title, you can start to type in the text, you can add in different images that you want to include, and really to make it more of a robust content building tool that we have here that you can use to start to report on the insights that you're uncovering in the research that you're doing. Okay, then we also focused on workflows. So these you can embed project management functionality into Insights Hub. So the different workflows on the different statuses of where this project's at, that goes to everybody that is monitoring this particular project. So you can see here if it's, whether it's reporting or if it's in progress, it's fielding, it's completed, adding those different functionalities and also knowing that this is built specifically for insights teams is key, because there's some platforms out there that aren't specifically for it, but we have all of the workflows that insights teams need to keep track of the status of their different projects and where those things are at in the workflows. And then democratize insights. So Insights Hub has the tools you need to share and apply insights across your organization. This is something that we have. So we also have Slack integrations as well that you can use, so that if a status is updated, it automatically updates in Slack as well. So this is something that really helps to improve those insights, because obviously people can get notified that these things have been updated, and it just helps keep everybody on the same page. Again, optimize workflows so researchers can kick off projects without leaving Insights Hub. So this is something that we want to make it as efficient as possible for teams. So you can define a project, then link a survey to that project, and then you can get those projects kicked off effortlessly. So this is something that we've done to optimize those workflows. You can see different themes coming out here where we want to make sure that it's easy and effective for teams to not only use workflows, but also in reporting of the data and making that process easy via our stories module. So making things more efficient and collaborative for those insights teams. Deeper dive into data. So with smart tagging, deep search, knowledge graphing, it makes it possible to uncover insights you never knew you had. So in here, you can, inside of this project in your different notes, you can choose to highlight it, like or dislike this. You can flag it, ask for help, different things there that you can do to start to categorize and take some of that data as well. All right, I know I went through everything pretty quickly, but I wanted to make sure there was enough time for questions that came in. I see on YouTube here, there was some questions from Ron around SPSS. Let's see, let me give me a chance to read this here, and then I will respond to it. Okay. Yeah, I think, Ron, what I'll do is I'll take a look at these questions in some more detail. It looks like, I don't know if I'll have an easy answer to you, but I will take a look at those, and I'll make sure that we can follow up with you. I'll search you up on LinkedIn, and I'll make sure that we get these questions answered around SPSS support and matrix. So I'll take a look at those in more detail and get back to you there. Let me see here. I don't see any other questions that have come in. So if there are questions after this, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, reach out to your account manager or customer success manager. Also, if you're new to QuestionPro and you want to learn more about any of these features, feel free to fill out one of the forms on our website, reach back out to you, or again, reach out to me and I'll get you routed to the correct person. But hope you enjoyed this, and wanted to say thank you for listening. I know we went super in depth and it was technical, but I wanted to make sure we covered as much as we could during this session, and that way you got the most out of it. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate that. And so the next event, so November 29th, we'll do something similar to this, where kind of talk about the features that we've released in the last 3 months. This is a newer series that we want to do here at QuestionPro to make sure that all of our customers and prospects and people just interested and want to know more about what's going on with QuestionPro, they get more knowledge around the features, functionality, and different things that we're working on. So we want to bubble up this in terms of product marketing and different things that we're doing. So the next one is November 29th, cover what we've got done in the last 3 months on each of these different products that we have, probably more information on DigSite and different things like that. But if you found this useful, definitely let me know. I would love for you to drop me a line and just say, hey, I found this useful, or it'd be great if you could go more in depth on these different things. I think we're open to that kind of feedback as well. So feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Twitter, and shoot me an email. My contact information is there. And with that, I appreciate you joining me, and go ahead and have a good rest of your day or evening.